clock in later and have a look at the recording. And we would love for more to join our space, and the more the merrier. So if you've got a teacher bestie who is looking for a place to ask, to lean in, to learn, to share, to inspire others, this is the kind of place to do that. We're really excited to be able to be trying to just put this together as a South African cohort. And it's just a beginning. So the more it grows, the more exciting we will have a community to work with. Just a reminder, if you are not already an official member of GEG South Africa, you could scan the code, you could send the code to others so that they can join. The code for joining and all the details about our GEG are actually in our site. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you the Google site details so that you can have that and pass that on if you'd like to. Here it's coming to you in the chat. So do check out that space. There is a lot in this space. So every time we meet, we do have a recording that we post here. It also shows what's coming next. So we meet every second Thursday of the month, and we pick a different theme. So there'll be something different every time. And we also hope to bring in outside voices from whoever would like to share. This is really not a space that Corinne and Ant and I want to try and shine. We just want to serve and give opportunity.
We're basically running out of ideas, guys. Help us.
Yeah, so basically help us. Here are the recordings that we have, and there are opportunities to connect with us on that site. And then just a reminder, if you haven't posted I'm part of GEG South Africa, we'd love you to. In this slide deck that we've got going here, there is a clickable link. I'm just going to share the whole slide deck, and there's a clickable link on this next page.
I've got it for you.
Awesome, thanks, Ant. Where you can click and you can actually make your own copy of a blank slide so that you can fill in your own picture and you can put some fun facts about you. And if you've posted that on socials, I've no doubt that the people who know and love you might be encouraged to come and join in as well. So we'd love you to just share the excitement as we try and grow this space. But a quick way for us to just get into a little bit of today's excitement is to do an emoji check-in. So there is something hot off the press right now that everyone's talking about, or Googlers are very excited that in Gemini there is this new thing called VO3. If you have used it and you are loving it, please give us the little heart emoji. If you're really excited to try it but you haven't yet, you can give us a celebration. If you have only just heard and you weren't sure about this at all, please just give us the shocked emoji, because it is quite a shock. It is unbelievable, and we have been testing it out with all sorts of fun lately. And so thanks for sharing your feedback there. Here is a little snippet for you. I'm just going to share my tab only so that you can actually listen as well as laugh at what I've got here. So let me just quickly share this tab only. Here we go with the audio. So here is a snippet. Take a look at this.
Get ready for the rhythm. Feel the K-pop beat.
I didn't know this was coming.
That's not fair.
That is a K-pop dance.
Ready for the rhythm. Feel the
And
K-pop
really not 100% like that. So we in the answer. It's pretty good considering all I did was take a quick screenshot of these tiny little images and ask it, create a video of these three people, and I didn't even spell this correctly here in this image. Please make us perform like a K-pop band. I mean, it is hysterical. You have to try this out. It is so easy to create videos of all. And quickly show you that it is super simple. When you open up gemini.google.com, let me go back to sharing my entire screen. You just simply type in gemini.google.com if that's not already like bookmarked and easy for you to access because you've already got it open. And you will see this new announcement that shows you VO3, and it says, why not take a snapshot of your pet? And then you can transform your pet's image into a video of your pet doing something funny or cute or whatever you want. And this is brilliant. You literally just have to wait a few seconds and it creates an entire video for you. So this is super exciting, and you are excited about the edu potential, you can give us the celebration. If you are like, I literally cannot believe this, you can give us the shocked emoji. And if you thought that was hysterical, which I think this particular one was hysterical, I'm giving the laughing emoji. So please, everybody's job after this call is to go and test out Gemini VO3. It's amazing. And over to you, Ant. You've also got an emoji for us to kind of thing.
I'm going to present my entire screen because I'm going to be jumping around.
Oh,
but, while I'm getting ready, to those who have just joined us, thanks for joining us. Feel free to unmute yourselves and have a chat and all that sort of stuff. We'd love to hear from you. There will be a little bit of this every now and again, but it's just when you come back. So GEG South Africa, welcome. We're going to go through a little bit now. Just dropping down, so we're going through. There's a little update I wanted to share. Has anybody seen Notebook LM lately or used it in the last week or so? Maybe 2 weeks? Anybody? And Martin has. So the big update there is that VO3 has been built into your notebooks. So you can now create a video overview, and it creates a video explainer that you can literally just press play on. This is updated since we did our press play. You won't hear the sound, but it gives a whole video cast, vodcast on a briefing on all of these things, just an explain on how to be a leader. It links up with, maybe I should share, let me just share this tab. Give me a second, guys.
cool, thanks, Ant.
Because it's easier if you can hear it. Present something else. Okay. Okay, now you should see it. And then if we here, close in there. So if you press a video explainer, it creates a video basically summarizing all the sources that you selected.
Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about something huge, leadership. But maybe...
And it's an explainer. I'm just going to drop it a little bit further on. So it won't play now because it's got a buffer. Sorry, it hasn't loaded in the background. I was hoping it would. But there it gives you a 6 to 8 minute video just of a summary of all those sources for those kids who struggle to read. It's a great way. If they need visuals, it's another great way to get them interacting. And the other big update was in the audio overviews, where they are now fully interactive, and you can play your audio overview. And this was in beta. It's now gone live. I think I did show it last time, but when it's playing, and sorry, it hasn't downloaded, it's still creating, you just click join, and you can actually join and interact with that podcast. I'm not going to do a full thing on that because that's been done before, but you can then ask questions, and they'll adjust the podcast so that it fits what you're doing. It's absolutely incredible. Has anybody used that yet?
Yeah, not just for kids who like audio. I must say, I'm just wired for listening rather than reading. So I just find those podcasts and the way that they talk about things so much easier for me to digest.
Yeah, they're incredible. So on to the main topic today. I feel really unprepared today, even though I have prepared slides and everything.
I think we should give Ant lots of claps.
It's just one of those days. I'm talking about my top 5 Google SSOs for teaching. We talk a lot about Google, but I like using a lot of the single sign-on sites, and Google gives you access to all those, and it many times bypasses some of the account creation and all that sort of stuff. So I've chosen just my top 5. There's hundreds and hundreds, and these are the ones I use. You will use others. You might use some of these. One is a bit of a pun for me becoming a Kami trainer, so that's in there. I'm going to talk about that in a few seconds. But the first one I want to show all you guys is Gamma app. This is one of my favorite apps. Thumbs up if anybody uses it. I have put the links in. I've embedded the links on all the slides. So Gamma app is a presentation creation software. I use it a lot. I did a presentation at a sports conference in the last couple of weeks ago, so I use that to take my notes. And it creates from text, generates a one-line prompt, it generates with files, etc. But we might want, I don't know, who teaches what here, guys? Are there any maths teachers on the screen?
Mathematics?
Maths, okay, let's teach something, maths. It's going to test me. I would like a presentation. Let's just fix the spelling. And you literally click generate an outline. I said I want a presentation. It says the default is 10 cards. You can go up to 10 on the free, and then you can pay for more, but you could even do 1 or 2. So you don't have to have long presentations. Maybe you want a 5-card presentation. We are going to make it default, which means that when you download it, it'll either it'll adapt to the screen. So it'll either be 16:9 or 3:4, whichever works for you. And I want UK English. So that's the title. What is the right angle, etc., etc. You can go through it. You can adjust these if you want to. If you've got stuff that you need to change, it's completely adjustable. And once you're happy with it, you can choose what sort of content you want. Do you want lots of text in it? Do you want a detailed text? I like concise. It usually works. But you can also do minimal text, like if you're teaching like we always tell the kids, not using too many titles. And then we can use one of their themes. There are more, but I'm going quickly today. I'm going to use this one. You can choose an image source, so you can use stock photos. So it goes to Unsplash and does that. You can search the web if you're not worried about copyright. It can generate original images for you. You can put GIFs in. It can do the whole lot. I'm going to do the best, the automatic one. And then once you're happy, you just click generate. Just click generate, and it'll start generating a presentation for you. So that presentation will literally happen in front of your eyes. Okay, don't close the tab like it says. So it gives, like I said, I wanted examples. It's aimed at grade 7. It's quite easy to read, as you can see as you're going through. It didn't listen to my 5 cards. I obviously clicked wrong, but it's done 10 cards. And once you've gone through it, you can go back to your prompt if you're not happy. You can let them know how good it is. But if you are happy with it, all those images are generated for me. Looks like AI has done it for me. But once you're done, you can either present straight from Gamma, or if you click share, you can collaborate with people, or you can share it, or you can export it. And if you export it, it's PDF, PowerPoint slides, or PNGs. So you can export it to whichever platform you most prefer. It's an incredible starter way to get a presentation. I really like that I can take it from notes that I've made. So I can now, it'll let me know when it's exported them. But I really like the fact in this one that I can get a basic thumbprint of what I need to do and then adjust it once it's downloaded. As soon as the Google slide, it literally becomes fully editable. So once we're here,
I must actually do that with my son because he asks me about AP math notes. And it's been a while since I did any of the AP maths.
So you can upload his notes and put him in and make a presentation for him. And you can say, use examples that are not on this paper, give me new examples, and then he gets more examples. So we'll come back to that once presented, but literally does a Google slide. On the free version, it does put a made with Gamma sort of, yes, Sean, it's a Google slide, so it can go into Google Classroom after that. If that's what you meant? So there it is. So I click here to view, and I now have a Google slide deck of that. And once I'm happy with it, it does it as a preview. I just open it with Google Slides, and now it's fully editable. I can do whatever I want. I was saying that it's made with Gammas at the bottom here, but if you just go to view theme builder, you can literally click at the bottom there and take that out if you want to. So it doesn't have to stay. I use this a lot. If that's the way to say it, I use it nearly on a weekly basis. It is a freemium product, so you only get a limited amount of credits. So to give all honesty, the link I've sent you is my referral link, so I can get some more credits to use. So if you do like it, sign up. I will get credits. It doesn't give me any money or anything, but it does allow me to use it more, which is great. So that's the first one for today. The second one I wanted to show you is Nicole and Frankie's favorite, and that's Cami. We signed up as a school with Cami at the beginning of the year. I think it was maybe the end of last year. And for those who don't know Cami, it's been a bit of a game changer when it comes to students submitting work electronically. It hasn't really changed the way we interact with Google Classroom, but it has changed the way that students are able to get onto a document, work with a document. To be honest, there's been a glitch here and there, but they've been very fast to fix it. And their feedback to when you send in a report is amazing. So just go into Cami, once you're signed into Cami, you can open files from wherever you want. There's some, I used the Cami one, say my name, so we could start learning how to pronounce all the kids' names properly for assemblies and stuff. So that's all there, and they can put their name in using audio. But the two I wanted to show today, because we're doing AI sort of, is Convert AI and Generate AI. Converting will take existing assessments into auto-grading questions. So if you've got an assessment that's a worksheet, you upload it here, it creates an assessment for you, or you can use AI to create an auto-grading questions from a Google Drive. So you'll go into your Google Drive. Let me just go into my Drive and 2025. Now, there it is, going to 2025. And if I go into my leadership, I talk about this a lot, and it's very safe. If I can read anything, there it is. I hate this view. Let me just change it. And if we're looking into what should I do? It's not pulling up all my files. I'm learning something here. Oh, there. Sorry, they're here. So I might do an assessment on how to be a leader and have goals. I'll click there. It needs conversions. I'll go convert to new file. So it's going to make a new file, which means it doesn't overwrite your old file, which is amazing because it doesn't. The old file's in Google Classroom already, so I don't want it messed up. So Cami makes a whole new one for you. From there, it takes that file, says there, and you can start using the understand tools. So it's pretty awesome from here. And Nicole, do you want to jump in on anything else there?
Yeah, I mean, we do have these amazing understand tools that are now equipped to support students. So, and if you want to click on that translate button, the translate is new. The dictionary has always been there, the top one. Translate, they can actually highlight a section on any page, not just word for word translation, but it will interpret that section of text into, we've got hundreds of different language options here. So it really allows the students to freely have the translated text as they want it. And when they have the text they want, we also have isiXhosa and Afrikaans. They can also then use that text and keep it on the side for later. So if you click the little T, it'll put a little text box on the side, like a comment is usually referenced on the right-hand side. So they can refer back to it, move along with the text, but they've got that meaning in the language they needed on the side. So really transforming things. And then the explain tool, if you want to click on that and check a paragraph of the page, you can actually have an explanation of that text. And you can, for students, this is amazing. It can actually give a breakdown of what is actually being said there. And it really does make a huge difference when they're struggling with interpreting the text. And then if you go down a little bit more, we've also got summarize, that'll just give bullet points. And we've got re-level, which is a game changer for students, where they actually have the text simplified, or if you want to challenge students, it could also be made a little bit more complex, so that if the language is difficult for them to interpret because of the reading level, they can actually just break it down into something much simpler. Reading level is much easier for them to digest. And then, you know, they're not, the language is not a barrier to the task at hand. That's the ideal.
The other thing I really like about this, Nicole, is that once I've selected the test using one tool, you can just change tools and it keeps that same text. So you can use all those to explain, to do things like 3 or 4 times. So you can get it translated if you're struggling, but you can have it re-leveled and it remembers what you have until you click off it or close it, and then you can start a whole new section. So you can actually use all those tools on that one piece of text, all at more or less the same time. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Cami, going nice and quickly today. Third one of my top 5 is Brisk Teaching. This has been around a lot, but it's something that I come back to quite often. Brisk is a free tool. There is premium in it, but I've never had to buy the premium. You install it in Chrome or any Chromium browser. So it doesn't have to be a Chrome browser. It can be installed on a Chromium browser. So Microsoft Explorer it can be installed on that. And once you've got it, what you can do is on any website you go to, wherever the Brisk pops up, it'll pop up at the bottom here, and you click on it, you can then start doing stuff with it. So you can change the level. I wouldn't on this because it's a video, but what I really like is all the creation tools. So In the creation tools, you can create a rubric, so you can get marking out of this. If you're doing a question, you can create a quiz, you can create a resource, a lesson plan from it, deeper level of knowledge questions, just all sorts of things. It even does translation. There's a whole bunch of stuff. What I like here is it does an inquiry task. So if you do inquiry-based education, I'm going to include the sources because that's the right thing to do. And I'm going to ask you to do a scientific inquiry on Lego. And right in front of me, it's going to create a grade 7 level, because I teach grade 7. I've got it set as my default. And it's going to start generating question prompts for those inquiry-based schools that struggle to find prompts to inspire kids to explore. It'll search all that sort of stuff for you. So it's just, yeah, it's incredible. I'm just going to let it work in the background for a bit. It talks for itself.
And when it gives you those questions, and because we didn't show the questions AI in Cami, you could then take this doc, and you'll see Ant at the top of his page has got an open with Cami.
Yeah.
And then you could actually make these questions have answers with the Cami questions that would self-grade in Google Classroom or whatever your LMS is. So nice combo when you app smash like that.
So, but you'll see here, it's now giving me experiments that I need to do to measure multiple layer blocks. And then it's giving me a basic inquiry lesson on Lego, and then giving me all the links that it's gone to. And you'll notice it doesn't just have the original video that I've got. It's gone and found 4 or 5 other sources and other videos so that the kids can explore further if they want to. It's pretty incredible. Alongside that, if I click on Brisk, there's boost activities where it encourages your kids to work independently. There are exemplar lessons. There are stuff, we don't do any of these, but that's all there. But it can also create emails, letters of recommendations. I wouldn't do that here. You can put IEPs in. It's just got a whole bunch of tools that teachers can use. The quiz goes straight to Google Forms or a Google Doc. I always use Forms. And Sean, you're asking classroom friendly. Once you go to Google Form, it goes anywhere. And this is amazing. I don't know if anybody else has used or is using Brisk at a high level. Anybody else want to say anything about it? No, all good. Excellent. It's amazing. I'm just going to say it's amazing. I use it. I've created my leadership lessons. I've taken a resource that I found on the internet. I then take it into Brisk to create a Google form so I can see that the kids have done the resource, and I put all those resources into a Google LM notebook where they can access the learning at any time. And Google LM notebooks by the end of August will be Google Classroom friendly, and you'll be able to share that whole notebook with the Google Classroom. I know they don't make promises at Google. I figured by the time the American school starts, it's going to be ready to go. So let's hold thumbs on that. Martin, is that a hand up? Nope, it's just a wave. Thank you. Number four is School AI. If you don't use it, I use it for a specific purpose. I thought I'd signed in, but I'll sign in again. Hopefully it doesn't show anything personal. Nope, all good. What I use School AI for mostly is, it's got all sorts of spaces, but what I really like is their sidekicks. Sidekicks are basically self-prompted AIs or wall-gardened AIs, sort of like a notebook, but more open than a notebook, where you can create a sidekick for your students to use. So I want to explore, history of World War II with grade 5 students. So that's a basic prompt, but when you go deeper, you can describe your class. So this is a grade 5 class of high level achievers, or this is a mixed grade 5 class, or I'd like the language to be a grade 3 level because the class struggles to read. You can really give a lot of detail about how the psychic interacts with your students. You can then suggest a tone. So we could say friendly, informative, and guiding maybe as a tone. My spelling is terrible today. And then rules to set. You could set rules. We don't want to go too hectic, but prevent questions on something or avoid something. We don't want to avoid too much about the history of World War II, but you can really guide that. And once you're done, you can check a preview to see if you're happy with it. And then it's, hi there, welcome to our exploration of World War II. To get started, what do you already know? I know Okay, I'm shouting at the computer now. And school AI, great point. And then it starts guiding them and tries to see what knowledge they've already got, and then helps them and guides them along the right route of knowledge. Once it's generated prompts, you can get it to speak that prompt as well. So again, with your students who struggle to write, and if you've got dyslexic kids who are struggling to read, it'll read it to them, or kids with an disability. They can also hold spacebar and send the messages via talk, so they don't have to type it the whole time. Once you're happy with it, you just click launch, and it's launches. You can have a code, a QR code, but you can also send it straight to Google Classroom. So that whole the whole sidekick will go into Google Classroom. So you go there. Oops, it always asks for permission. Sorry, guys. I suppose it's better safe than sorry. But basically, you go through the permissions, and you will be able to use it in Google Classroom, and the kids can access it. The real power behind it, and I'm going to go back to an old one. Let's just go back to School AI. I'll find one I've done. So under Olympic aspirations chat, it gives your kids and the breakdown, but it shows how they interacted with that, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they struggled, and it gives them a rating. I don't want to be on the screen too long because I'm going to have to blur it out before I put it on YouTube. But it literally lets you see what the kids asked, how they asked it, whether they were polite, whether they were impolite. It flags if there's inappropriate discussions happening. It won't let them happen, but it'll flag. And as a teacher, you can be in the background seeing how they're using that AI. And it's limited to the scope that you give it. It's an absolutely incredible tool for the classroom. Any questions?
I love how it empowers you to just know where the students are at with their engagement with AI, because
Absolutely.
it's very difficult otherwise. We can't be at everybody's computer, and we can't be giving them the prompts every time. We do need them to start exploring and being able to be independent.
And you can't hang over their screen all the time either. We can't face 30 or 25 or 30 or 35 screens all the time. So this allows us to really see if they're engaged, if they're not. At the end of the lesson, you can see if the kids asked 4 questions or 40. And you can even judge the level of engagement from that. So it takes a few minutes just to briefly go through it at the end of the lesson, and you know exactly where they are when it comes to interacting with AI. And once you know where they are, you can always open to other more open AIs where they're less guided, less controlled, less strict. But the kids are used to conversing with AI and with bots and with machines and humans, hopefully, and can interact more appropriately. Okay, the last one. The old favorites, probably most of you have already seen this, Kahoot.com or getkahoot.com, another one. So
This was one of the first things that brought classrooms alive when I was EdTech coaching.
Absolutely, this and quizzes. I was going to include both, but I use Kahoot more, so that's why I'm on Kahoot. It's become very clunky, I'm not going to lie, but it's still a great way to interact with the kids. And it's got AI built into it now as well. So it is a Google login. So you click on Google on login. It'll ask you to log in with Google. That's the whole point. Google single sign-on. It's amazing. You can log in easy before you start, but they still want you to start. Okay, here it comes. So we had a trial. We decided not to go because the basics were there. But here you got to discover your reports, your groups, all that sort of stuff. But when you're on the create section now, sorry, I see I'm getting lost because I haven't done this well. Your library will keep all your stuff there, your stories, your Kahoots. My creation is closed. They've closed my creation. I'm going to go back to personal. Okay, so I'm not going to change. Most of you would have seen Kahoot, so I'm not going to go through it too much. But I'll have to get off the trial version. But I really love Kahoot because the kids are so engaged in it. Even now, a kid could have done 50 Kahoots, and there's lots of others. There's 5 or 6 or 7 others. But Kahoots always just grab kids more than anything. I don't know if it's the music or the way it shows itself. It just seems to be the one that works the most for me with the kids. I know there's lots of others, but so those are my top 5 single sign-ons. I had one more. It's a little bonus for you all. This one's called Goblin tools, and it's
What
technically
I've never seen before. I'm so excited to try it out.
this one is really cool because there's a whole lot of small AI tools that we're starting to use more and more in our classes. So the thing it doesn't really fit the theme because there's no signing required to this one. But if you're on Goblin Tools, and I think I've got it up here, it's just got a whole bunch of little tools that help kids decide things, estimate things, compile things. So maybe Magic To Do. I click on that. It says, I want to build a task. Okay, and you can say, how much do you want to break this task down? Do you want to really break it down, or do you want to be in the mid-range, whatever it is? And when you're happy, you click there, and it'll say, I want to build a birdhouse. And over time, it'll give you a whole lot of breakdown steps to, sorry, let me just try that again.
Because sometimes the task at hand is too overwhelming, even for us adults.
And it'll break down those tasks for the kids. So there it goes. So identify the type and style of birdhouse you want to build, gather necessary materials. I've said I want quite a lot of detail. And it's literally a checklist that the kids can now go boof, 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 and slowly work their way down an action that they want to do. It really helps kids, and in the makerspace specifically, break down tasks so that they understand how many things they have to do when they do something. So if you want to 3D print something, what do you have to do to 3D print
Give us a thumbs up if you're also a list person. Definitely.
So our students are using that a lot in the makerspace. Let's go back to some others. There's an estimate. So here, I want to 3D print a dragon, and then estimate. And then again, you've got the spicy level, 30 minutes to 4 hours, and it just gives you an estimate of how much work you're going to have to do. So the kids, we use this, we get them to do the to-do list, we get them to do this, and they say, I've got this to-do list that says it's going to take 5 hours, I've only got 4 hours of lessons. How can I adjust? How can I reframe? How can I look at other things? The other one I really like is the judge. So here, a colleague was in a bad league.
I love the look of this. So often you have your own lens at which you judge things, but this is a great kind of sounding board here.
And then judge. And it's going to give me a judgment of whether my actions were good or not. Possibly worry, guilt. The phrase the colleague was in bad mood suggests observation. It takes you through why you feel like that. And it suggests a response to that emotion. So when you've done that, it tells you, try not to be too hard. Sometimes the situation is complex and influenced. And it just gives you a little overview of how to deal with a situation like that.
And can you post in a whole email from a parent?
You probably could. I haven't gone that far. We use these mostly with our kids. But there's another one. I can't see it here. Where's it gone? There's pros and maybe pros and cons is gone. There's a whole teacher section as well. I forgot to show you about. It's called Teacher Tools, and that's got a whole bunch. But there was one. Yeah, consultants. Sorry. So this one's a pros and cons. So should I start running? Hurt my knee. And you ask it to give advice, and we'll give you the pros and cons, and then advice at the bottom. So just a few seconds. The thing to know about this, these are not savable. They don't stay. They're just there temporarily. But it's say why it's a pro, why it's a con, and no, you should avoid starting to run. It'll give you a judgment and say why it gave that judgment. It's just a great bunch of tiny little tools that kids can use just to guide them a little bit. And it's just fun little tools that they can dip into, dive out of, come back to. We put them into Google Classroom in all our tech classrooms as one of the useful websites. And then they can just come back and forth from that tool as often as they want. So that's me. That's my 5 top SSOs and a bonus tool. I hope they were helpful. Anybody got anything they'd like to add? Suggest? Take away? Use?
Thanks, Ant. That was brilliant. Does anyone notice or wonder anything about those that we've seen from Ant today?
A question from me, Sean. How
to
do
see you,
you
Sean.
persuade the school budget committee to approve purchases of these wonderful, amazing add-ons?
So everything I showed you today can be free. They're freemium. The only one we pay for here at Dainfin is Cami. I'll be honest with you, and the deal we got from them was kind of a no-brainer. So speak to the Cami guys.
If anyone needs motivating for a Cami spend, for sure we can do you a strategy proposal.
So everything else is free. Like I said, we did the Kahoot trial. We decided not to go for it because we get out of the basic, we get what we need. We looked at buying Magic School AI, but that's just crazy dollars. So we decided to invest more in teaching teachers how to use these tools at a free level. And then, yeah, that's unfortunately, the only real tool we pay for is Turnitin, and now all the universities are going away from that for AI, so it's not even as helpful as teachers thought it would be. So there's no spend for any of those 5 tools if you want to use them at the basics, which is why I showed them, and which is why I use them, to be honest with you. Google, Cami gave us a bit more options, which is why we bought them. We will probably go back to looking at Kahoots because more and more teachers are using it, but it was quite expensive, so we didn't do it yet. Is that a fair answer? Anything else? But I do, Sean, prefer free tools if I can find them, even down to trying to use non-proprietary software on our 3D printers. Sometimes you have to, but if we can avoid it, we do. So that's me.
Anyone else notice anything or wonder anything about those tools that we've seen? So we've had a look at Gamma, we've had a look at Cami, we've had a look at Brisk, we've had a look at School AI, Kahoot, and then our bonus was taking a look at Goblin tools that I'm definitely going to dig more into.
Yeah, they're very useful. I like the breaking down of the task thing. That really works for me. Sean, go ahead.
Thanks. I'm just wondering if any of these tools are student-friendly. So can the students learn how to use them in the same way that us teachers, educators are having to learn them?
Absolutely. Goblin tools specifically we use with our students all the time. They're very small and friendly. So the sidekick in School AI is more a teacher tool, which you then present to the students, and they work within that tool. So I wouldn't give that to students to build yet, although it'd be quite interesting to see what they did with it. So maybe it's worth a chat with Magic School. Cami is all the features that a teacher sees are usable by your students, whether you have a license or not. So you just more limited to the tools you can use on the free version. I shouldn't give prices, but I think we got $1 or so per year per person on Cami. It's an incredible. The service has been so good, so much so that I'm becoming a Cami trainer. Brisk is free. Brisk again is more aimed at teachers as a teaching tool, so I don't think I would put that to our students. They don't need lesson plans. They don't need all that sort of stuff. So that was definitely for teachers. And then Kahoots. Our kids do sign in and make their own Kahoots. Even my daughters, who's in grade 10 and matric, both of them, they still make Kahoots to test themselves and friends and share with each other. So that's definitely student friendly. They can log on and create Kahoots. So it's a 50-50 split is probably the final answer. But Goblin tools especially, we use those a lot with our students. The Judge. There's even one called Chef where you can put the ingredients in your fridge and also suggest a recipe for you, which is quite fun. So that one we definitely use a lot with our students. Okay.
So
Then we have a top
go to slide 18. Maybe you have something buzzing in your brain that you would like to have a think about. You can either share now, we've kind of got some time, or you can bring it to us next month in our gathering. We meet every second Thursday of the month. And if you've got that tool that you just actually love, it's a Google SSO, it fits in well with your Google for Education environment, we'd love you to come and tell us about it. We really are looking for people in our community to come and share in these spaces. So do reach out to us and let us know if you'd like to bring us something.
And along with that, if you want to present on something completely different, like we said at the beginning, we're starting to run out of ideas. So we'd love some of you guys to take over one of these or co-host or run one with us. So if you're interested, pop a message to Nicole or myself or Corinne, and we'll go from there. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, we've just built a new website for our company, and we use generative AI, Gemini, fairly extensively for that. And it's built as a Google site. So it might be kind of relevant to schools who want to use Google Sites and Gemini to make something worth looking at. And I'd be happy to share whatever we can on that. And actually, the builder of the site is my 21-year-old son, who was using all the tools for the very first time and wasn't exposed to any of those things at school. So, you know, it's kind of like, okay, well, there's the Gemini, ask Gemini for the site build strategy, and there's Google Sites, and there's the help documentation, and like, please try and figure it out as much as you can. And then he kind of asked me for some help. So actually, it might be better if he presents that, or if we do a little co-present or something. But anyway, if you want to use that, you're welcome.
We would. If you'll just pop one of us an email. You've got my WhatsApp as well, Sean. So either that's amazing.
That would be amazing. We'd love to hear that story, and I'm sure it would be very, very helpful. I know if you're a Google school, that doesn't necessarily mean to say you're using a Google site, but there are so many options within a school that makes a perfect opportunity for a Google site. So it would be lovely to hear more about how you combine Gemini and created that Google site.
Excellent. Okay, so what do you guys think?
Yeah, generally, what do you think? Are you loving how we're meeting? It's very relaxed. We wanted to make it so that it's the same Google Meet and it's the same expected time for now just to get going. So I'm seeing lots of hearts. That's lovely. If you have ideas and you're actually feeling a thumbs down, but you don't want to share in front of everyone, that's okay. You can put your mic on and let us know. But otherwise, just pop us an email and we'd love your ideas so we can mix it up. I know Ant and I were also saying it would be so great to have a GEG South Africa meetup in person. So we would love to plan something like that. At the moment, these have made it easy for people to just join wherever they are. But in person is very special. So we do want to try and curate something that we can do in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Then the reminder.
Just general reminders that we've got a Google EDU directory. So if you're needing to get hold of somebody near you, you can go to that directory and you can look on the map and find people close to you to connect with. And also a reminder about the champions site on that next slide, where you can see news and updates. There are 4 key groups of champions: the GEG leaders, the trainers, the innovators, and the
coaches.
And the coaches, that's quite right. And so those communities are very active and there are ways for you to connect. In fact, I wanted to quickly pop on my champion hat for today. I don't know if you know anyone who's recently been at one of the champion symposiums, but joining these communities gets an amazing opportunity for you to be involved with people, not just within South Africa, but all over the world. I was at end of December 23, Sydney, for a symposium of champions, and it was unbelievable how I got to connect with others. I know I have a friend who's just finished the symposium in Singapore. If anyone has someone who's at a symposium right now, let us know your story. I just wanted to say, don't forget about that champions platform and that community and being involved in more than just our GEG South Africa, but how we connect to a global gig and all the things that come with that.
Correct.
Opportunity for you in Dublin. Amazing. Yes, I'm so pleased. There is a champion symposium still happening later this year in Madrid. So I don't know if anyone's got any friends in Madrid, but that one is happening. I think one year they do the innovators and the next year they do 3 or 4 champion symposiums. So there could be symposiums next year, but the year after again. Hopefully one day, if anyone's listening to this recording from the Google powers that be, we will have a champion symposium in South Africa. We would love to have that, wouldn't we?
Or an Innovators Academy in South Africa.
Absolutely, or an Innovators Academy right here. That would be amazing. We would certainly show them what a beautiful country it is in lots of ways.
Yeah. And finally, we've already spoken about this, but if you want anything or want to suggest anything, there's a WhatsApp group that we shared earlier. I'll go back to that in a few seconds. Pop questions on the WhatsApp group. Let's start making it a bit more active. We do monitor it and we're on it. We also have the EdTech Leaders group. For most of you are on that already. Keep asking questions, stay inquisitive. That's the whole point of this.
Totally. We want to encourage us to feel like we can ask and we can teach one another as we're in the journey together. So thank you, everyone. We give you a few more minutes back in your diaries today, but it's been a pleasure to connect with all of you who are here with us live today. And for those who are watching, thank you for taking the time to connect in this way. We look forward to next time. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, and
Appreciate it.
we'll stay if anyone's got any questions, but we can probably stop the recording.